Okay, so things that my pathologically lying ex-husband lied about. Backstory. I'm gonna try to get as much of this as I can into this video, because I hate when people say follow for part two, but I'm gonna try. All right, backstory number one. We met in March of 2020. Georgia got shut down, locked down 2.5 weeks later.
We interrupt this program to prescribe you with 1,000 milligrams of red vitamins.
Right here, right now, it's the right time, it's the right sound, right now, right now, tell the whole pipe down, pipe down, pipe down, pipe down, pipe down, tell the nigga pipe down, pipe down, pipe down, pipe down.
What's good, Shadow Realm? It's your boy Reclaim Your Throne coming at you with another crazy video. But first, my goal is to get to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the month. So make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. And you already know, Reclaim Your Throne. So guys, today I am breaking down a video of an overweight sister who is telling a story of how she got played and what went on through her relationship. So this is a pretty long story. So I'm going to be interjecting in and out, and we're going to break this video down. So let's get it.
Okay, so things that my pathologically lying ex-husband lied about. Backstory. I'm gonna try to get as much of this as I can into this video, because I hate when people say follow for part two, but I'm gonna try. All right, backstory number one. We met in March of 2020. Georgia got shut down, locked down 2.5 weeks later. We got married January of 2021, and we were divorced August of 2021. So keep in mind that this story is spanning March of 2020 until about June of 2021.
All right, so the first detail that we have is she jumped into the sack with this man super quickly, married him super quickly, and divorced him even faster. So this shows how desperate she was looking for love. This shows the desperation. She was oozing, seeping even desperation out here in these streets because she felt lonely. Obviously, during the pandemic, people were trying to, be able to shelter in with somebody. They made up terms, even the CV bay or whatnot, my social distancing bay or whatever. So that's exactly what she was looking for. And she was so desperate that she jumped into a relationship and a marriage with a man that she barely even got time to know.
Because I kicked him out the house on his birthday. So we met online, Facebook dating and Hinge. I will never do online dating again, but that is where I met him. My tire blew on 285 just before Boulder Crest.
Okay, so that's another detail. She met him online dating. Guys, how many times have I told you that bad bitches do not need dating apps? So if you meet a woman and she is on a dating app, most likely she's not a bad bitch. Point blank. Period. Okay? Because bad bitches get enough attention in general. So they don't need dating apps to vet for more men unless they're using it for some type of self-esteem boost. But those types of women, or if they're using it for OF funnel or whatnot, but those types of women, they're not checking their dating apps like that.
On my way to our first date.
She also mentioned that she met the guy at Boulder Crest, which is the same hood that Gucci Man grew up in. So how much do you guys want to bet this is a Thug Maxed Alpha Sim? How much do y'all want to bet this guy is a Thug Maxed Alpha Sim? And how many times have we been speaking about black women love Thug Maxed Alpha Sims? This is a perfect example.
Clearly that was a sign. I didn't listen. But my tire blew, and he met me at a gas station. We were supposed to be meeting at Cheesecake Factory, but because the tire blew, he met me at a gas station, fixed my tire, then took me to go get another tire, paid for it. And I just thought, oh my God, this is the beginning of a beautiful romantic story. Boy, was I wrong. So, things he lied about. Every morning he would get on the phone with his brother. We'll call his brother John. He would get on the phone with John and he would be like, hey, babe, John said good morning. And I'm in the bathroom doing my hair because I still had to go to work at this time. And so I would just say, hey, John, call out, hey, John. And, he would relay back and forth what I said to John, what John said to me. I never actually talked to John on the phone. And so he would be like, I can't wait for COVID to be over. Me and my girl, we're going to come see y'all. I can't wait for Auntie to meet her. Side note, his parents are deceased, excuse me. So he was like, I can't wait for you guys to meet her. Like, I know I'm gonna marry her. I know it. He said everything I wanted to hear.
So he's, talking her up, basically love bombing, which is a strategy that many modern women speak about. And they speak about it as if they understand and know when and how they can identify this in real time. But what we're finding out is they are never able to identify these tactics of game, right, in real time. They always have to retroactively reflect on what happened. And then they're like, oh, he was love bombing me, even though they claim to be able to identify these tactics in real time before they even happen.
Love bombing 101. This man wrote the book.
And also another point is, I guarantee if one of her friends described this relationship to her, she would even be able to identify that, hey, this guy's love bombing me. But since she's so desperate, and obviously she's a big girl, she's so desperate for love that she fell for it without even thinking about it, without even criticizing it, because he probably fulfilled her Thug Max fantasies, guys. So you have to understand, she has a Thug Max fantasy and an idealization of a Thug Max alpha simp. So whatever he told her, she was gonna believe. And this is exactly how Hood Ninja's game is. They throw it, they come on real strong, and then they fall back after they get your ass pregnant.
So he talked to his brother every day. He talked to his friends every day in front of me. He would be on the phone laughing, cutting up, cracking jokes, telling them, hey, she said, hey, just having conversation, like a normal conversation. I didn't think anything of it. It wasn't until he got kicked out of my house in June of 2021 that I found out every single phone call was made up. He was never on the phone.
I told y'all, didn't I? I said this in like 2 videos ago. I told y'all, Hood Ninjas, Thug Max Alpha Simps, they will create fake scenarios in order to seem popular, in order to seem lit, in order to seem like they got it going on. They got a huge friend group, all this kind of stuff. They will create fake scenarios, just like the guy who, the woman who was detailing the story about the Hood Ninja who got in a shootout and then called her up afterwards talking about, man, you supposed to be down for me, whatever. Remember, I told y'all, I believe that story was made up. And this just validates exactly what I'm saying. Hood Ninjas, Thug Max Alpha Simps will create fake, false stories, false narratives in order to get the woman on their hook. So he's playing it up, acting like he's on the phone talking to family about her, and she's eating it all up. Meanwhile, ain't nobody on the other line. Nobody's on the other line. And these are the tactics that the Thug Max Alpha Simp uses on a daily basis, and guess what? It works.
I don't know. Those of you who are watching, you're probably like, there's no way. Listen to what I'm saying. Everything I'm telling you can be verified. Every single phone call he ever had was made up. The phone calls where he called to pay his car off, made up. The phone call to the realtor when we were looking at houses, made up. The phone call to the bank for them to release the money.
Oh yeah, and it's not realtor. It's not realtor. It's realtor. Realtor. Okay?
For the house that he signed his name for, made up. Every phone call was made up.
Damn.
His brother, every day, he and his brother had not spoken since 2015 when his mother died.
Woo!
I found that out later on.
Wow.
He made up every phone call. He had no friends, but yet every phone call would be my friend this, my friend that. The second lie, his job. He told me when I first met him out the gate that he was a VP at his company. He had been transferred from California to Georgia, and he was in the process of, getting himself settled. He was looking to buy a house. His job was VP of a major condiment company. I won't say the name because I don't want to get sued. But he said that his job was VP at that company. It is fair to note he paid every bill. He paid all the bills.
So how is he getting this money? How did he pay the bills? Well, it's obvious he's probably a scammer or a trapper. And it sounds like to me that he's a scammer because of the elaborate lies that he was able to thread and, bring together in order to sell this woman on his fake persona, his fake reality, when in all actuality, he's just most likely just a thug max alpha sim who got, the gift of gab.
He gave me spending money. Like, even though we were quarantined, locked down in my little townhouse, again, this story was always he's trying to buy a house. So when we got together, it was we need to buy a house together. Like, this is forever. We're going to have a family. Let's go ahead and find a house. So the lie is that he was a VP at his company. And he maintained that lie every day. Truth is, he was a temp. He called me from work all the time. I may have to make a different video to explain how he was able to lie with the work stuff. So he would call me and he would pretend to reprimand employees who couldn't see that he had a Bluetooth thing in his ear. He would pretend to reprimand them in front of me.
Bro, I'm telling you guys, this guy went through the ringer to sell this one.
He would pretend to take phone calls from the company president who needed his help on something. He forged emails that he showed me from the company president asking him, we need to get this up and running. We need to do this project. We need to do that. It is scary how brilliant he was and how much energy he put into the lie.
So you hear she don't have necessarily any bad things to say about, he was brilliant and all this stuff. Bro, this just shows you that she still has feelings for the man who scammed her.
But he was a temp. He was a temp forklift driver. There's nothing wrong with a forklift driver. But he was pretending to be a VP. Third lie, housing. He told me he was looking to buy a house. We got together and we started looking at houses. I found a beautiful 5-bedroom, 6-bath house in Smyrna, Georgia that was gorgeous. It was
a 5-bedroom, 6-bath house in Smyrna, Georgia is like $500,000, maybe even more. Guys, I mean, my cousin lives in Smyrna right now. It's not cheap. So for her to pick out a 5-bedroom, 6-bathroom house, she must have thought this guy was a multimillionaire.
It was brand new construction build, and I love the house. The house was listed for $699,000.
What did I tell you? Over $500,000. Dude, do I know the market or do I not?
He showed me paperwork from Chase Bank saying that he was approved for a mortgage for $750,000. Yeah. I watched as he put in an all-cash offer on this $699,000 house.
Woo!
I watched him sign his name to a legally binding document for an all-cash offer. The reason why the house fell through was because the builder did not want to finish the basement. We were requesting that the basement get finished. He did not want to, so he declined our offer and took the offer of another couple who didn't need the basement finished. That's the only reason why that house fell through. I see now where God's grace protected me because, well, it really protected him because legally I was not his wife, so I was not on the mortgage for that home. So, third lie had to do with housing. Fourth lie had to do with baby. So I got pregnant, lost the baby.
Damn.
I was sad at the time. I am not anymore. But lost the baby, had to have a D&C. When I was in the hospital, the doctor called him to let him know, she'll be discharged, because again, this is COVID, so you could not go in the hospital at the time when I had the surgery. So the doctor called him and said, she's going to be released in an hour and a half. He pretended to be his own executive assistant.
God dang. Hey, this man, he went through the ringer to sell this lie. And my thing is, did she not do any research? Did she not do a background check? Did she not look into a criminal history, criminal record, or anything of the sorts? This is what I talk about when I say that modern women have a horrible vetting process, because a lot of them just aren't looking into the details on how the sausage is made. They just want the sausage. It's the same thing that Rich Cooper says. Women wait at the finish line and smash the winners. Why? Because they don't want to know how the sausage is made, and she didn't want to know how he really made his money, as long as he made enough money. And that's why she was able to be fooled, because she wanted to believe in the idealism, and the idealistic point of view, and the idealistic reality that wasn't an actual reality. She thought that she got the corporate bossed up thug max alpha simp, and his lies just crumbled, and he ended up just being a plain old thug max alpha simp.
And so he said, Mr. James is in a board meeting, but I'm his executive assistant, David. How can I help you? You can let me know what's going on. Obviously, the doctor wouldn't do that. So she just said, please let him know that Miss So-and-so will be ready for pickup in an hour and a half. He told the doctor he's in a board meeting until about for about another 30 minutes, and then he'll be on his way. I should have only been in the hospital for an hour and a half. I was there for 3 hours.
Damn.
Because again, he was a temp forklift driver, so he couldn't get off work.
Ooh.
But I didn't know that at the time. So those are just some of the things that my pathological lying ex-husband did. There's so much more. I have severe PTSD. And I know it's my fault. I know that I did not trust myself. I did not pay attention to the United Nations of red flags. I did not pray, and I am paying the consequences for that. So there's nothing anyone can say to me, girl, you was dumb. I was desperate.
Yep.
I wanted to be married.
I told you she was desperate, and guess what? I guarantee there were women who were watching this video in the beginning talking about she wasn't desperate. She wasn't desperate. What you mean she was desperate? Just because she's a big woman, just because she a BBW means she desperate? Yes, it actually does mean she's desperate. And she went ahead and admitted it. And I'm glad she's taking accountability, because a lot of y'all don't want to take accountability when the reality is y'all out here making mistakes. Now, it ain't nothing wrong to make a mistake, but at least come forward and admit that you make the mistake like she's doing. And she's at least teaching other women not to make these same mistakes. So I do have some respect for her.
I wanted a family, and I thought it was my turn. And instead...
And I'll tell you what, if she really wants that family, hey, 150, 200 pounds later, you got it. With a man of value. But at this size, you are not going to get a man of value. You're going to continue to get thug max alpha simps. You're going to continue to get guys who are going to play you and use you because they know that you eating good.
I got pulled into something my brain could not even comprehend. And guess what, guys? What I just told you, it's only 5% of the story.
Woo!
So yeah, let me know if anybody knows somebody at Lifetime. And also, if any of you got any sort of gift cards for Stella Rosa Black, I'll take those as well. That's my story.
So, I mean, I think she has a good attitude. She has a good spirit. I don't think that she's a bad person. I think she got fooled. But these are some of the cautionary tales that I try and tell you guys about these thug max alpha simps, and how oftentimes a lot of black women do fall in love with these thug max alpha simps because their ability to sell the dream is impeccable and it's phenomenal, and they're willing to go out on a limb to sell this dream, which actually became a lie. Okay, so shout out to her for telling this story. I might actually follow up and do a round 2 to this one, or a part 2 to this one. But she has more to tell, and I can guarantee that we'll find a whole bunch of red flags that she overlooked beforehand in the beginning of the relationship that she probably regrets overlooking today. So anyways, you already know what it is. It's your boy Reclaim Your Throne. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Send your relationship request to the email down below with a screenshot of your CashApp. So I know you're paying on time, man. Y'all already be in your motherfucking with the BS. You already know. Reclaim Your Throne.
Want to become an elite level athlete? Well, look no further. The Reclaim Your Throne Elite D1 training course is all you need to take your performance from subpar to the creme de la creme of athletes all around the world. The purpose of this course is to give you a comprehensive weight training, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance program that is meant to prepare young athletes for collegiate and professional sports. This course is packed with over 2 hours of creative, action-packed lifts narrated and coached by yours truly to assure increased strength, speed, flexibility, recovery, and endurance. Hey, I get it. Training alone can be tough and can even make you feel misguided or somewhat unmotivated. But with this course, I walk you step by step through each and every lift to make sure you're using the proper form to prevent injuries and that you're hitting the correct muscle groups to render maximum results. So what are you waiting for? It's now or never. So go ahead and get the training course today so you too can reclaim your throne.